Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking all about our cashed envelope system. If you have not checked out our baby step 1 or 2 video based off Dave Ramsey's baby steps, I suggest watching those first. I'll link them in the video box below. And today we're going to be talking all about the cash envelopes and how we personally use this system. Let's get started. So sometime in a future video, I probably will do a flip through a little bit about our bullet journal and what that looks like. But today I'm going to go ahead and focus on April. Right now it is April 20th to be exact, and this is our layout for our April bullet journal. On this side we have a layout for my husband's cash tips. This is his second job that he works, and this is how we keep track of them. And over here on this side is what we use for our cash envelopes. I do a different drawing each month, something that relates to how I'm feeling, what I want it to look like. And so this month is April showers brings, and next month on the next page I'm going to have May flowers over here for our cash envelopes. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom us in, and I'm going to get into a little bit more detail about how we use the cash envelopes and how this system works for us. So these are what our cash envelopes look like. They are laminated. I made them myself with just some old scrapbook paper and a label maker. I used a tutorial from a YouTuber on here named Alyssa. If you are interested in how she makes her envelopes and want yours to look similar to mine, I will go ahead and link that video down below as well. So on this side we have our little raindrops, and each of these raindrops represents a different cash envelope for this month. I'm going to go ahead and start over here based off of what we use, and then I'll talk a little bit more about our envelopes on this side. So we use our bullet journal in order to keep track of my husband's cash tips that he brings home. The way that we do our cash envelopes is we only use the cash that he brings home in order to stuff those envelopes. I get paid once a month and he gets paid every 2 weeks, but we use our bullet journal and our envelopes specifically for the cash that he brings home. The other paychecks that we get, we use for things that are automatically being drawn out of our accounts, such as his car payment, our rent, our utilities, our weekly grocery runs, things that we already know we have enough money in our account for. So what we do is each time he brings the money home, if you follow us on Instagram, you might have seen me coloring in some of these boxes before on our Instagram story. But when he comes home, he gives me the cash. I write down how much he made, and I color in that box. And then I come over here to color in the different raindrops or whatever the style is for that month for each envelope. So I'm going to quickly go through and tell you what each of these raindrops represents for right now, and then I'll talk to you about what we do next. So at the top we have a few raindrops that are some of our sinking funds. I'm going to create a separate video about sinking funds so we can go into a little bit more detail about what that means. But basically in a short amount of time, it is a fund such as our Amazon Prime account gets charged just once a month. So instead of saving up a bunch in 1 month, we save up a little each month so that we can anticipate that payment at the end. So for this month we have Amazon, we have some weddings we're going to. Even though we're in the middle of this debt-free journey, we still are going to go to weddings. We've decided that. You kind of have to decide what works best for you and your family. But for us, we wanted to spend time with those loved ones. So we still are going to do some of the fun trips and things we already had planned out before our debt-free journey. So I have a wedding raindrop. I have a birth certificate raindrop because here in California, we need to get our real ID California driver's license, and in order for that to happen I needed to get a different copy of my birth certificate. We also have car maintenance, we have renter's insurance. This is the first month that we actually have a clothing fund. We're so excited about it. We've been doing really well, and so we've finally come up to the point where we have room to do a clothing envelope this month. I have a bridesmaid's dress that I need to spend money on, our car registration. Every few months we do a Costco run, so we like to budget that in. We have our tithing for church, and then we have some different things for those trips that we have planned, the weddings that we have planned, like the flights. We're going to do a fun tubing excursion and just some Hawaii fun money for food and everything that we're going to be doing there for that wedding. We also have the handle of this umbrella is my student loan payment. So we do use that for a cash envelope. And then our big umbrella, this is the biggest one that we have on here, and that is our baby step 2 debt snowball, our second debt that we're working on paying off, which is my husband's car. So each month, the rest of the month, we put as much money as we can into our big debt payoff, which for this month is his car payment, and we put as much money as we can into that section. So as you can see right now, all of these raindrops have already been filled, and it is only the 20th. So what we will end up doing is we will be putting all that money, like I just said, into his car payment envelope and start storing that away. However, if you have also been watching us on Instagram, you know that our emergency fund envelope, baby step 1, is now empty. We had a little hiccup with some taxes, and so we are working hard to rebuild this. So instead of putting all the money towards the car payment first, we are going to be putting money chunking away into our emergency fund envelope, and hopefully we'll be back to baby step 2 by the end of this month. So that's our plan, what we're working on, but we'll see how that works. So some days when he brings home the cash, we don't have enough money to fill up a section completely. So as you can see here, like for this car maintenance, we have the $16 marked off. I only had $16 for that envelope, and then the next time we filled that up all the way. We do try to prioritize a few things, doing it in order. For example, we started off with my student loan payment because it does come out on the 9th of each month. So what we did for student loans is as soon as we had the $283, I gave the money to my husband. He went and put it in the bank, and we paid that off right away. Other things we just keep in the envelope. So for example, our renter's insurance, it's just due once a month or once a year, just like Amazon also. So we put $15 a month into here, but we just keep all of the money in the envelope until that payment date comes. Some people ask how they feel about leaving cash at home. We do have a safe that we put it in. We put all of our envelopes into a box and then put it into the safe. So we do feel good about that, but for specific things like paying off my student loan, this money does come out of the envelope each month, and for our extra baby step 2 payment, whatever we're working on, we do put that into the bank and then pay that at the end of every month also. So a little bit more about what we used in order to complete all of this is I do use just some regular crayons. I am a teacher, so I had some extra crayons in my classroom, so I brought those home to help color. I do also use these Pentel Touch markers. These aren't the best markers for bullet journals. They do have the calligraphy brush tip. But I already had these, and I didn't want to go out and spend more money on some different supplies, and they don't bleed through, which is really good. And I also use just a regular pencil with an eraser to help map out our different setups and things as well. And I did print out some different labels, but on some of the things we weren't exactly sure what each envelope was going to be. So I did end up making some blank envelopes, and I just left them blank, and then when things popped up, so for example like Amazon Prime, I just went ahead and wrote on that with Sharpie. And then something like the Real ID that we had to save up for that we need to use for California for our driver's license, I just went ahead and put a sticky note on there, and I have the money in there all saved up and ready to go. So these are the different materials and different ways that we use our bullet journal and our cash envelopes. This is just what works for us, so it might work differently for you, and that's totally fine, but this is the way that we've set up our system. If you would like to get a little bit more information or maybe see a Plan With Me May video, I would be more than happy to lay that out and draw it up for you guys so you guys can see step by step what we do. So if that is something that you are interested in, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and thank you guys for watching. See you in our next video.